Welcome back to the channel, where today we are diving into the fascinating world of the legendary Jefferson nickel. These tiny coins may seem ordinary, but some rare dates, mint marks, and hidden errors have turned simple pocket change into treasures worth hundreds, thousands, and even life-changing amounts of money. Before you spend another nickel, you need to watch this video carefully because one small detail could make all the difference. Since its first release in 1938, the Jefferson nickel has become one of the most collected coins in American history. Designed with the portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the front and his historic home, Monticello, on the back, this coin carries both history and mystery in the palm of your hand. Millions were produced, but only a few rare examples have become true collector's treasures hiding in jars, drawers, and forgotten collections across the world. The moment you hear the words 1990 Jefferson nickel, most people imagine an ordinary 5-cent coin sitting forgotten inside an old drawer, buried under dust, or rolling around in a car console. But hidden among millions of common nickels are a few mysterious pieces that collectors would fight to own. Some of these coins carry strange minting mistakes, rare conditions, and unbelievable features that transform a tiny 5-cent piece into a treasure worth thousands of dollars. To the average person, it may look like spare change, but to serious collectors, one extraordinary 1990 Liberty Jefferson nickel can become the discovery of a lifetime. The 1990 Jefferson nickel was produced during a time when billions of coins flowed through American pockets every single year. Most were heavily used, scratched, and damaged from circulation. Yet a very small number escaped into the world in nearly perfect condition. These untouched examples, especially those with mirror-like surfaces or rare mint errors, became the center of attention in the coin collecting world. When collectors discover one with exceptional quality, the bidding can rise to shocking levels that few people would ever expect from a simple nickel. One of the biggest reasons this coin attracts attention is the possibility of hidden mint errors. During the minting process, machines sometimes struck coins incorrectly, creating doubled letters, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or dramatic die cracks. These mistakes were never supposed to leave the mint, but some escaped into circulation unnoticed. Decades later, collectors hunt for these errors with magnifying glasses and bright lights, hoping to uncover a forgotten masterpiece hiding in plain sight. The Philadelphia Mint produced many 1990 Jefferson nickels without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint released versions carrying the small D mint mark. Proof coins from San Francisco carried the S mark and were specially made for collectors. Among all of these varieties, the rarest and most valuable examples are usually those preserved in astonishing condition or carrying dramatic minting abnormalities. A normal worn nickel may only be worth 5 cents, but a flawless specimen can explode in value once graded by experts. Imagine opening an old coin jar and finding a 1990 Jefferson nickel shining brighter than every other coin around it. The edges are sharp, the surfaces glow like polished silver, and the details of Jefferson's face appear almost untouched by time. That single coin could instantly spark excitement among collectors because condition is everything in the rare coin market. Even the smallest scratch can reduce value, while perfect coins become legendary pieces chased by wealthy buyers. Many collectors dream about discovering a full steps Jefferson nickel from 1990. On the reverse side of the coin, the steps of Monticello can sometimes appear completely visible and sharply struck. Most nickels lose these details due to weak minting pressure, but a perfectly struck full steps example becomes highly desirable. Coins with this feature have sold for incredible amounts compared to ordinary nickels, simply because they are so difficult to find in pristine form. Another reason these nickels create so much excitement is the possibility of doubled die errors. This happens when the coin die receives a slightly doubled impression during production, causing letters and numbers to appear duplicated. On some rare Jefferson nickels, the date or inscriptions may look slightly doubled under magnification. To collectors, these tiny differences are not mistakes. They are treasures that tell a dramatic story about the minting process itself. Some 1990 Jefferson nickels also gained attention because of off-center strikes. These unusual coins were struck incorrectly, leaving part of the design missing while the blank metal shows around the edge. The more dramatic the off-center appearance, the more collectors become fascinated. Coins like these often look bizarre and almost unreal, which increases their desirability among error coin enthusiasts across the world. The powerful attraction of rare nickels comes from the idea that almost anyone could unknowingly possess one. Unlike ancient treasures locked inside museums, these coins once moved through everyday stores, gas stations, vending machines, and pocket change. That mystery fuels endless excitement because people continue checking old jars and collections, hoping to uncover a hidden fortune disguised as an ordinary 5-cent piece. Professional grading companies play a huge role in determining the value of a 1990 Jefferson nickel. Experts examine the coin under magnification and assign a numerical grade based on condition. Coins graded at the highest levels, especially mint state 67 or higher, become extremely rare. Once sealed inside official holders, these coins often attract aggressive collectors willing to pay enormous prices to own one of the finest examples known. Some people exaggerate stories by claiming every 1990 nickel is worth millions of dollars, but the truth is more selective. Only extremely rare examples with exceptional condition or important mint errors command huge prices. However, that reality makes the search even more thrilling because the difference between an ordinary nickel and a valuable one may be almost invisible to untrained eyes. A coin worth a fortune could remain unnoticed for years before finally being recognized. The Jefferson nickel series itself has a rich history stretching back to 1938 when the design first replaced the Buffalo nickel. Featuring President Thomas Jefferson on the front and his famous Monticello home on the back, the coin became one of America's most recognizable pieces of currency. By 1990, the design had already circulated for decades, yet collectors still remained obsessed with finding the sharpest and rarest examples possible. Many collectors carefully inspect the surfaces of these coins for unusual colors or brilliant luster. Some nickels develop stunning golden, blue, or rainbow toning over time due to natural chemical reactions. When combined with flawless preservation, these colorful effects can dramatically increase collector interest. A beautifully toned 1990 Jefferson nickel may look more like a piece of art than a small pocket coin. There are stories of people discovering valuable nickels in inherited collections, forgotten piggy banks, or old family safes. A coin ignored for decades can suddenly become the center of attention once experts identify a rare variety or high-grade condition. The 1992 Liberty Jefferson nickel is one of those coins that can look completely ordinary at first glance, yet hide a shocking story beneath its small 5-cent surface. Millions of people have carried these coins in their pockets, tossed them into jars, or spent them without even looking twice. But collectors know that certain rare 1992 nickels with unusual mint marks, strange errors, and flawless condition can suddenly become the center of bidding wars that explode into thousands of dollars. The excitement surrounding this coin keeps growing every year because the rarest examples are becoming harder and harder to find. What makes the 1992 Jefferson nickel so fascinating is the mystery behind its hidden varieties. Most people think modern nickels are common and worthless, but that belief changes instantly when a rare minting mistake is discovered. Some collectors spend years searching through old rolls of coins hoping to uncover a rare 1992 nickel with doubled letters, off-center strikes, or dramatic die cracks. When one of these rare examples appears in pristine condition, its value can skyrocket beyond what anyone would expect from a simple 5-cent coin. The design of the 1992 Jefferson nickel carries a powerful historical feeling. On the front of the coin appears the famous image of President Thomas Jefferson, a symbol recognized across America for generations. On the reverse side stands Jefferson's legendary home, Monticello, giving the coin a classic and timeless appearance. Even though the coin itself is not made of silver, many people still refer to rare nickels as silver treasures because of the fortunes they can create in the collector market. That reputation alone causes collectors to inspect every 1992 nickel they can find. One of the most thrilling discoveries involves the 1992 nickels that were struck with unusual mint errors. Sometimes the dies inside the minting machines shifted slightly, causing letters to appear doubled or stretched. In other cases, the strike pressure became uneven, creating dramatic visual mistakes that collectors love. These minting accidents were never supposed to leave the mint, yet a few escaped into circulation. Today, those rare survivors are treated almost like hidden lottery tickets by serious coin hunters. Collectors are especially obsessed with coins graded in near-perfect condition. A normal worn 1992 nickel may only be worth face value, but a perfectly preserved example with strong details and brilliant shine can command astonishing prices. Professional grading companies examine every tiny detail under magnification, searching for scratches, discoloration, or weak strikes. If a coin earns one of the highest grades possible, its market value can rise dramatically because collectors compete fiercely for the finest known examples. There are stories of collectors opening forgotten bankrolls and suddenly finding rare 1992 nickels that had remained untouched for decades. Imagine discovering a coin that sat unnoticed in storage while its value quietly increased year after year. That dream keeps collectors searching constantly through change jars, old piggy banks, and inherited collections. The possibility of uncovering a hidden rarity creates an almost treasure-hunting excitement that never disappears. One of the biggest reasons rare Jefferson nickels attract attention is because of error coins connected to mint marks. Certain 1992 nickels with unusual mint mark appearances can become extremely valuable if the error is verified by experts. A small detail near the date can transform an ordinary coin into something collectors desperately want. Sometimes the mint mark appears doubled, misplaced, or strangely shaped, and these tiny differences can mean enormous money in the world of numismatics. Many new collectors make the mistake of spending old nickels without checking them carefully. That is exactly why experts always warn people to inspect every coin before using it. Rare nickels have been found in cash registers, vending machines, and pocket change. Some people unknowingly spend coins worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars because they assume all nickels are identical. A few seconds of careful inspection can completely change the future of a collector. The 1992 Jefferson nickel also attracts attention because it belongs to an era when fewer people saved modern coins. Earlier generations carefully stored silver coins, but many modern nickels circulated heavily and became damaged over time. As a result, finding a flawless 1992 example today is far more difficult than most people realize. Scarcity in top condition is what pushes elite collectors to pay shocking amounts when an exceptional coin appears at auction. Some rare 1992 nickels display beautiful rainbow toning caused by decades of natural aging. These colorful surfaces can show shades of gold, blue, purple, and green under the light, giving the coin an almost magical appearance. Collectors often pay premium prices for coins with attractive toning because every pattern is unique. A naturally toned nickel can stand out instantly among ordinary coins and become the centerpiece of a collection. The world of coin collecting is filled with stories about ordinary people becoming unexpectedly wealthy after discovering rare coins. A collector may search for years without success, while another person finds a valuable piece in loose change on the very first day. That unpredictability is what makes the hobby so addictive. Every nickel carries the possibility of being something extraordinary hidden in plain sight. The most valuable 1992 Jefferson nickels are usually those with a combination of rarity, error features, and outstanding condition. A coin with a dramatic mint mistake but heavy wear may still be valuable, yet a similar coin in pristine condition can multiply in price many times over. Serious collectors understand that condition is everything. Even the smallest scratch can affect value, which is why rare coins are handled so carefully. As interest in coin collecting grows online, more people are beginning to realize that modern coins can carry incredible value. Videos showing rare Jefferson nickels selling for astonishing prices have inspired thousands of new collectors to start searching through old coins. That growing demand creates even more competition for the rarest examples, pushing prices higher whenever exceptional pieces appear on the market. One fascinating part of the 1992 Jefferson nickel story is how overlooked these coins once were. For years, many collectors focused only on older silver coins while motor. The 1993 D. Liberty Jefferson nickel is one of those coins that most people ignore every single day, yet hidden among ordinary pocket change could be a piece so rare and mysterious that collectors are willing to spend astonishing amounts of money to own it. At first glance it looks like an ordinary 5-cent coin, small, silver-colored, and simple, but experienced collectors know that some 1993 D nickels contain unusual minting errors, rare conditions, and stunning details that can transform an everyday coin into a treasure worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is why many coin hunters carefully inspect every Jefferson nickel they find, because one lucky discovery could completely change a person's future overnight. The story of the 1993 D. Jefferson nickel begins at the famous Denver Mint, where millions of nickels were produced for circulation across America. Most of those coins entered stores, banks, vending machines, and cash registers without anyone giving them a second look. But hidden inside massive mint production runs, mistakes can happen. A tiny error during the striking process can create coins with doubled letters, off-center designs, clipped planchets, die cracks, or strange metallic appearances that instantly make collectors excited. These unusual features are what separate an ordinary nickel from a life-changing collectible. One reason the 1993 D. Jefferson nickel attracts attention is because high-grade examples are surprisingly difficult to find. Even though millions were minted, very few survived in near-perfect condition. Coins that avoided scratches, dents, fading, and circulation damage for decades are now incredibly desirable. When grading companies examine these coins and award them elite grades like MS67 or higher, their value can explode dramatically because collectors compete fiercely for the finest known examples. Some collectors believe the most valuable 1993 D nickels are the ones showing dramatic minting errors that were never supposed to leave the mint. Imagine discovering a nickel where the image appears doubled, where part of the design is missing, or where the coin was struck on the wrong metal blank. These rare accidents create coins unlike anything else in circulation. Because such mistakes are extremely uncommon, collectors often pay astonishing prices to add them to their collections, especially when the errors are visually dramatic and certified authentic. The Jefferson nickel itself carries a rich American history. The portrait of Thomas Jefferson represents one of the most influential figures in American history, while the reverse design features his legendary home, Monticello. This design has appeared on nickels for generations, making the series one of the most recognizable in American coin collecting. Yet among these familiar coins, rare dates and rare mint marks become hidden treasures that passionate collectors spend years searching for. Many people become shocked when they learn that condition alone can turn a common-looking nickel into a highly valuable coin. A worn 1993 D nickel may only be worth a few cents, but a perfectly preserved example with sharp details, blazing luster, and flawless surfaces can command incredible attention at auctions. Collectors are obsessed with perfection, and the closer a coin comes to absolute mint condition, the more intense the competition becomes between buyers. There are stories from collectors who discovered valuable nickels in old jars, forgotten piggy banks, estate collections, or even loose change from grocery stores. That possibility is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Every nickel has the potential to be something extraordinary. A person might unknowingly carry a rare coin in their pocket for years before discovering its true worth. That sense of mystery keeps treasure hunters constantly checking dates, mint marks, and unusual features. The D mint mark on the 1993 nickel identifies it as a coin produced in Denver, and mint marks are extremely important in the coin world. Certain mint locations produce coins with unique characteristics or rare varieties that become famous among collectors. A tiny letter on a coin can sometimes mean the difference between a coin worth 5 cents and a coin worth a small fortune. That is why experienced collectors always examine mint marks carefully under magnification. Some of the most valuable nickels are not valuable because of age, but because of rarity combined with demand. The 1993 D nickel is modern compared to older American coins, yet rare versions can still generate enormous excitement. Modern coin collectors love searching for overlooked treasures because newer coins are easier to find in circulation. That means anyone could potentially discover a valuable specimen without spending a fortune buying ancient coins at expensive auctions. Another reason collectors become fascinated by certain Jefferson nickels is the possibility of full steps examples. On the reverse side of the coin, the steps leading to Monticello are tiny and delicate. If those steps appear fully visible and sharply struck, the coin receives the coveted full steps designation from grading companies. These examples are far more difficult to find because most nickels were weakly struck or damaged over time. A 1993 D full steps nickel in exceptional condition can attract huge interest from serious collectors. The world of rare coins is filled with stories of unexpected wealth. Someone cleaning out an attic may stumble upon an overlooked coin collection. A cashier may receive a rare nickel during a normal workday. A child may inherit old coins from grandparents without realizing their hidden value. These stories fuel the dream that ordinary people can discover extraordinary treasures hiding in plain sight, and the 1993 D Jefferson nickel remains part of that exciting possibility. Collectors often use bright lights, magnifying glasses, and digital microscopes to inspect coins closely for hidden details invisible to the naked eye. Tiny doubling effects, unusual textures, or strange strike patterns can dramatically increase value. A coin that appears normal at first may reveal rare characteristics under closer examination. That careful detective work is what transforms coin collecting into an exciting treasure hunt instead of a simple hobby. The market for rare nickels has grown stronger over the years because collectors worldwide compete online and at major coin auctions. As more people enter the hobby, demand for rare and high-grade examples continues rising. The mysterious world of the 1994 D Liberty Jefferson nickel is filled with excitement, hidden treasure stories, and the dream of sudden fortune that keeps collectors searching through old jars of coins every single day. At first glance, this small 5-cent piece may look ordinary, but certain rare versions of the 1994 D nickel have captured attention because of unusual minting errors, incredible condition, and collector demand that can push their value to astonishing heights. Many people unknowingly spend these coins without realizing that one tiny detail could transform an everyday nickel into a coin worth thousands of dollars in the right market. That possibility alone makes this coin one of the most thrilling discoveries for collectors and treasure hunters alike. The 1994 D Jefferson nickel was struck at the famous United States Mint facility in Denver, which is why the small D mint mark appears on the coin. Millions of these nickels entered circulation, but not every coin was created equally. A few rare examples were struck with unusual features that separated them from ordinary pieces. These hidden differences are exactly what collectors spend years trying to find. Some examples show doubled lettering, strange die cracks, weak strikes, or rare minting flaws that make the coin dramatically more valuable than its face value of only 5 cents. What makes the story even more exciting is the rumor surrounding perfectly preserved 1994 D Jefferson nickels that survived untouched for decades. Coins found in mint state condition with full details and blazing surfaces can attract serious buyers willing to pay enormous prices. Collectors are obsessed with coins that still display sharp steps on Monticello, the building shown on the reverse side. These are known as full-step nickels, and they are considered elite treasures in the Jefferson nickel world. A flawless full-step example from 1994, D can command breathtaking prices because finding one in perfect condition is extremely difficult. Some coin collectors describe the hunt for this nickel as a modern treasure chase hiding in plain sight. People search through piggy banks, old drawers, inherited collections, and forgotten rolls from banks hoping to uncover one special coin that changes everything. The excitement grows because rare coins have been discovered by ordinary people with no professional experience. A single lucky find can suddenly place someone in possession of a coin desired by collectors across the country, creating stories that sound almost unbelievable to anyone outside the hobby. The design of the Jefferson nickel itself adds to the coin's historical charm. The front features Thomas Jefferson, one of America's most recognized historical figures, while the reverse displays his famous home, Monticello. Although the coin is technically not silver, many people still refer to rare nickels as silver treasures because of their incredible collector value and shining appearance. The 1994 D issue carries the spirit of American coin collecting history, connecting modern treasure hunters to decades of numismatic fascination and mystery. Collectors become especially excited when a 1994 D nickel shows a dramatic mint error. Errors are accidental mistakes created during the minting process, and they can turn an ordinary coin into a legendary collectible. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double dies, and die breaks can all increase value significantly. Some error nickels are so unusual that collectors compete fiercely to own them, pushing prices far beyond what most people would imagine for a simple 5-cent piece. In rare situations, a stunning error combined with near-perfect condition can create a coin worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. Another reason this coin generates so much attention is because many people overlook nickels while searching for valuable coins. Pennies and quarters often receive all the spotlight, leaving Jefferson nickels ignored in jars and cash registers. This creates the thrilling possibility that valuable examples may still be circulating unnoticed. Imagine paying for a snack with a coin that could have been worth hundreds or even thousands to the right collector. That possibility is exactly why experienced treasure hunters inspect every nickel carefully before spending it. The market for rare Jefferson nickels has grown steadily over the years because collectors appreciate coins that combine history, rarity, and beautiful preservation. The 1994 D issue has become particularly fascinating because high-grade examples are harder to locate than many people realize. Coins that avoided scratches, fading, and wear are incredibly desirable. When grading companies certify a 1994 D nickel as being in exceptional condition, its value can rise dramatically, especially if the coin possesses the prized full-step designation that collectors crave. Many dramatic stories circulate within the collecting community about people discovering rare nickels in ordinary places. Some found them inside inherited coin boxes, while others discovered them in old bankrolls purchased for only a few dollars. Those stories fuel the dream that anyone could become unexpectedly wealthy through patience and careful searching. The idea that a tiny forgotten coin could contain hidden fortune gives the Jefferson nickel an almost mythical reputation among collectors and treasure seekers around the world. The 1994 D Jefferson nickel also stands out because of its connection to the booming coin market of modern times. Collectors today are willing to pay incredible amounts for rare pieces that combine scarcity with strong eye appeal. Bright luster, sharp details, and unusual mint characteristics can turn a common-looking nickel into a coin that sparks bidding wars between determined buyers. Auctions involving rare Jefferson nickels often surprise outsiders because the prices achieved can seem unbelievable for a coin originally worth only 5 cents. One of the most powerful aspects of coin collecting is the emotional thrill attached to discovery. Holding a rare 1994 D nickel can feel like holding a secret treasure hidden from the world for decades. Collectors examine every detail under magnification, searching for signs that their coin might be the next extraordinary find. The suspense surrounding these searches creates excitement that keeps people returning to the hobby year after year, always hoping for that one life-changing discovery. The coin's Denver Mint mark plays a major role in its identity. The tiny D beneath the year represents the Denver Mint, a facility no. The 1995 D Jefferson nickel may look like an ordinary pocket change coin at first glance, but hidden among common examples are a few extraordinary pieces that have shocked collectors with unbelievable prices. Many people spend these coins every single day without realizing that one rare version with the right condition, mint error, or unusual strike can transform a simple 5-cent piece into a collector's dream. The Denver Mint Mark D, stamped beside Monticello, tells the story of a coin born in one of America's most famous minting facilities, and some of these nickels now carry values far beyond what anyone expected decades ago. When collectors talk about valuable modern nickels, the excitement usually comes from condition rarity and mint mistakes. The 1995 D nickel was produced in massive numbers, which means most examples remain common. But hidden inside those millions of coins are tiny groups of nearly flawless pieces that survived without scratches, fading, or damage. A coin graded at the very highest levels by professional grading services can suddenly become worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars because so few perfect survivors exist. That is what makes collectors search endlessly through old jars, coin rolls, and forgotten drawers hoping to uncover a hidden treasure. The design of the 1995 D Jefferson nickel carries the legendary portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front and the historic Monticello building on the reverse. Although the coin is not made from silver, many people confuse its bright appearance with older silver coins. The true magic is not in the metal alone but in rarity, preservation, and demand. A perfectly preserved nickel with strong luster can appear almost glowing under light, creating the illusion of a special treasure pulled straight from the mint yesterday. Some of the most valuable 1995 D nickels are those with dramatic minting errors. These errors happen when machinery at the mint malfunctions during production. A double die effect can create letters or numbers that appear slightly duplicated. Off-center strikes can leave part of the design missing while exposing blank metal areas. Certain nickels may show clipped edges, die cracks, or strange surface textures that make them completely different from ordinary coins. Collectors love these mistakes because every error coin becomes unique, and uniqueness creates powerful demand in the coin market. One reason people become fascinated with rare nickels is the dream of discovering life-changing value in everyday change. Stories spread across the collecting world about ordinary people finding unusual coins worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. While claims of instant billionaire wealth are usually exaggerated, there are indeed rare coins that have sold for astonishing amounts because wealthy collectors compete fiercely to own the finest examples. A single extraordinary nickel with a rare error and perfect condition can attract attention far beyond its tiny face value. The Denver Mint produced enormous quantities of the 1995 D nickel, but quantity alone does not guarantee survival in top condition. Most coins quickly entered circulation where they were scratched, bent, stained, or worn down over time. High-grade examples are difficult to locate because they avoided years of damage. Coins graded mint state 67 or higher are especially respected because they retain exceptional shine, crisp details, and nearly flawless surfaces. When one appears at auction, collectors often battle aggressively to secure ownership. Collectors carefully inspect every detail on a 1995 D nickel, searching for clues that separate common coins from valuable ones. They examine Jefferson's cheek, hairline, and jaw for wear. They check Monticello's steps and windows for sharp detail. They rotate the coin under strong lighting looking for unusual colors, mirrored surfaces, or striking abnormalities. Sometimes a tiny detail invisible to ordinary people becomes the exact reason a collector pays a fortune for a rare specimen. Another factor that creates excitement is the possibility of transitional or experimental errors. Throughout coin history, There have been rare moments when wrong planchets or unusual metal blanks accidentally entered production. If a 1995 D nickel were discovered on an incorrect metal composition, collectors would likely consider it an extraordinary rarity. Coins struck on wrong blanks often become headline-making discoveries because they reveal mistakes hidden inside mint operations that were never supposed to leave the factory. The emotional power behind coin collecting is enormous. For many people, coins are not just money but historical artifacts that connect generations. A single nickel may have passed through thousands of hands over decades before ending up forgotten inside an old box or drawer. Discovering a rare coin creates a feeling similar to uncovering buried treasure because the object silently carried value while nobody noticed its importance. Auction houses have helped transform modern coins into serious investment pieces. When rare nickels appear in certified holders with elite grades, bidding can rise quickly. Wealthy collectors compete for registry sets where owning the finest known example brings prestige and recognition. This intense competition is one reason why certain nickels that once seemed worthless suddenly gain extraordinary market value. The shine of a high-grade 1995 D nickel can be breathtaking. Under magnification, untouched mint luster rolls across the surface like waves of light. Collectors describe these coins as having blazing brilliance or icy surfaces. The difference between an average circulated nickel and a premium mint state example is dramatic. One may only buy a small snack, while the other could command serious money from determined buyers. Many people overlook nickels because they focus on older silver coins, gold coins, or famous pennies. Yet experienced collectors know that modern nickels can hide remarkable rarities. Searching through rolls from banks or inherited collections sometimes uncovers coins with overlooked errors or exceptional preservation. This possibility keeps the hunt alive and fuels endless excitement within the hobby. Professional grading companies play a major role in determining value. They authenticate coins, assign numerical grades, and seal them in protective holders. A 1995 D nickel graded at an elite level gains credibility in the marketplace because buyers trust certified evaluations. Even a tiny increase in grade can multiply a coin's value dramatically, especially for modern ISS. The moment you hear the words 1996 D Jefferson nickel, most people imagine nothing more than a tiny 5-cent coin lost in couch cushions, dropped into parking lots, or forgotten inside dusty piggy banks. But hidden beneath that ordinary appearance is a coin that has sparked obsession among collectors who believe certain rare examples carry astonishing value. Somewhere out there, one extraordinary 1996 D Jefferson nickel could be sitting unnoticed in a jar while collectors hunt desperately for the perfect specimen. That tiny D mint mark on the coin has turned into a symbol of mystery, fortune, and sudden financial transformation for lucky owners who know exactly what to look for. The 1996 D Jefferson nickel was struck at the legendary United States Mint facility in Denver, and millions were produced for circulation. Yet the strange thing about coin collecting is that rarity is not always about low numbers. Sometimes the real treasure comes from errors, condition, unusual strikes, or coins preserved so perfectly they look frozen in time. Collectors do not simply chase old coins anymore, they chase perfection. And when a flawless 1996 D nickel appears, bidding wars can erupt with shocking intensity. What makes this coin feel almost mythical is the way ordinary people continue discovering valuable nickels in completely unexpected places. Someone opens an old drawer. Someone checks their grandfather's toolbox. Someone empties a forgotten coat pocket. Then suddenly, there it is, a 1996 D Jefferson nickel with unusual details that separate it from common circulation pieces. The thrill comes from the possibility that a tiny overlooked difference could turn a 5-cent coin into a collector's dream worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. The design itself carries a quiet historical power. On the front of the coin appears Thomas Jefferson, staring forward with that familiar calm expression that has appeared on American nickels for generations. On the reverse stands his famous home, Monticello, one of the most recognizable buildings ever placed on American coinage. To most people it is just pocket change, but to collectors every line, every edge, and every tiny detail becomes part of an enormous hunt for hidden value. Some 1996 D nickels became valuable because of minting mistakes that should never have happened. Error coins are the wild creatures of the coin world. A doubled strike, off-center design, clipped edge, or unusual surface can instantly transform an ordinary coin into something collectors fight over. Imagine holding a nickel accidentally struck in a way no other coin was supposed to be struck. That tiny imperfection suddenly becomes the reason collectors are willing to spend unbelievable amounts of money. Condition is another reason this coin can become astonishingly expensive. Most nickels from 1996 traveled through thousands of hands, became scratched, faded, bent, or worn down from years of use. But a few survived untouched, shining with original mint luster as if they had just left the press yesterday. These pristine examples are incredibly hard to find. Collectors call them high-grade coins, and when grading companies certify them at elite levels, their prices can explode far beyond what ordinary people would ever expect from a nickel. There is something almost cinematic about the way collectors talk about rare nickels. They whisper stories about coins discovered in junk boxes, flea markets, and inherited collections that later sold for shocking amounts. The 1996 D. Jefferson nickel has earned a place in those conversations because rare examples with special qualities can create absolute chaos in auctions. One bidder wants the finest known example. Another collector refuses to lose. Suddenly the numbers rise higher and higher while spectators watch in disbelief over a tiny 5-cent piece. Many people become confused by the color of these nickels because some appear silver-like under certain lighting. The reality is that standard 1996 D. Jefferson nickels were not struck in pure silver, yet certain surfaces, mint finishes, or unusual preservation can create an appearance that feels brighter and richer than normal circulation coins. That glowing metallic shine often tricks people into believing they are holding something magical. And honestly, in the collector world, sometimes they are. The Denver mint mark itself adds another layer of fascination. That small D beneath the year may look insignificant, but collectors inspect it carefully because placement, clarity, and strike quality can dramatically affect desirability. Tiny differences invisible to ordinary eyes can become enormously important in professional grading rooms. A sharper strike, stronger detail, or unusual mint characteristic can push a coin into an entirely different price category. One reason stories about valuable nickels spread so rapidly is because they awaken something deeply human, the fantasy that fortune might already be hiding nearby. Not in a bank vault. Not inside a billionaire's mansion, but inside a forgotten coin jar sitting beside old batteries and paperclips. The 1996 D. Jefferson nickel feeds that dream perfectly because millions exist, meaning anyone could theoretically discover an extraordinary example without realizing it at first glance. Collectors especially love coins with full steps details on the Monticello building. The steps at the base of Monticello are extremely difficult to preserve clearly during minting, so when a nickel displays sharp, complete steps, collectors become intensely excited. These full steps nickels are treated almost like royalty in the coin market. A 1996 D. Jefferson nickel with flawless surfaces and strong full steps details can command prices that leave ordinary people stunned speechless. There is also the psychological magic of rarity itself. Once collectors hear that only a tiny number of top-grade examples exist, desire increases immediately. Scarcity creates tension. Tension creates competition. Competition creates astonishing prices. Suddenly people are no longer buying metal. They are buying exclusivity, bragging rights, and a piece of numismatic history that few others can ever own. The modern coin market moves almost like the stock market now. Online auctions, collector forums, grading companies, and social media have transformed small coins into worldwide treasures overnight. A rare 1996 D. Jefferson nickel photographed under perfect lighting can spread across collector communities within hours. Then the rumors begin. People rush to check their own nickels. Coin jars get overturned. The mysterious 1997 P. Liberty Jefferson nickel is one of those coins that many people ignore every single day without realizing that certain rare versions of this tiny 5-cent piece can carry astonishing value in the collector's world. At first glance it looks ordinary, small, simple, and common, but hidden among millions of regular nickels are rare mint condition examples and powerful mint era varieties that have shocked collectors with unbelievable auction prices. The moment coin hunters hear about a high-grade 1997 P nickel, excitement spreads fast because some of these coins are nearly impossible to find in perfect condition. That is exactly why this coin has become a silent treasure hiding in plain sight. When the Philadelphia Mint produced the 1997 Jefferson nickel, billions of coins entered circulation across America. Most people spent them on snacks, parking meters, and vending machines without a second thought. But over time, collectors began discovering that a few rare specimens had extraordinary strike quality, mirror-like surfaces, or dramatic minting mistakes that separated them from ordinary pocket change. Those rare pieces transformed from simple coins into legendary collectibles that collectors dream about owning. The difference between an average nickel and a valuable one can sometimes come down to a tiny detail visible only under magnification. One reason the 1997 P nickel attracts attention is because of the famous full steps designation. On the reverse side of the coin appears Monticello, the historic home connected to President Thomas Jefferson. If the steps of Monticello appear completely sharp and fully visible without interruptions, collectors consider the coin extremely desirable. These full steps nickels are much harder to find than people imagine because even the smallest weakness during minting can erase part of the staircase detail. A perfectly struck full steps 1997 P nickel can command impressive prices that surprise even experienced collectors. The shocking truth is that condition means everything in the coin world. A worn 1997 P nickel found in circulation may only be worth face value, but a flawless uncirculated example graded at the highest levels can explode in value dramatically. Professional grading companies examine every surface, every scratch, every shine, and every microscopic imperfection. Coins that receive elite grades become elite treasures. Some collectors spend years searching through rolls of nickels hoping to uncover one untouched masterpiece hiding among ordinary coins. Another reason collectors chase this coin is the possibility of rare mint errors. Error coins are accidents created during the minting process, and these mistakes often become more valuable than normal coins. A 1997 P nickel with an off-center strike, doubled lettering, clipped planchet, die crack, or unusual metal flaw can become an object of intense demand. Some error nickels look so strange that people initially think the coin is fake, but in reality those minting accidents can increase value enormously. The stranger the error and the cleaner the condition, the more collectors compete to own it. Many people believe every old-looking nickel must automatically be worth thousands, but true value depends on rarity, condition, and collector demand working together. The 1997 P nickel is not made of silver like wartime Jefferson nickels from the 1940s, yet rare examples still create huge excitement because collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for coins that are difficult to locate in top quality. A regular coin becomes extraordinary when scarcity enters the picture. That is the secret that transforms pocket change into treasure. Stories continue to circulate about lucky individuals discovering rare nickels in forgotten jars, dusty drawers, inherited collections, and old bankrolls. Imagine opening a small box of loose coins and suddenly spotting a brilliant 1997 P nickel with razor-sharp details shining back at you. That single moment could completely change the way you see everyday money forever. Coin collecting is filled with these dramatic discoveries, and that possibility keeps millions of treasure hunters searching every day. One of the most thrilling parts of coin collecting is that valuable coins often hide in places nobody expects. Some collectors search through hundreds of bank-wrapped nickel rolls late into the night under bright lamps, studying every detail carefully. Others visit flea markets, estate sales, or antique shops hoping to find overlooked treasures sold for almost nothing. The idea that a tiny 5-cent coin could someday bring a life-changing amount of money creates excitement unlike almost any other hobby on earth. The design of the Jefferson nickel itself adds historical beauty to the coin. The portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the front gives the piece a classic American appearance, while the reverse featuring Monticello creates a timeless look recognized around the world. Even people who know nothing about coin collecting feel fascinated when they hold an older nickel and imagine how many hands it may have passed through during its lifetime. Coins become silent witnesses to history, travel, and everyday life. Collectors also pay attention to the coin's luster, which is the glowing shine created during minting. A blazing original luster can make a 1997 P nickel appear almost magical under light. Coins with untouched surfaces and smooth satin brilliance are especially desired because they preserve the appearance the coin had the moment it left the mint decades ago. Once a coin becomes scratched, damaged, or cleaned improperly, much of that collector value disappears forever. That is why experienced collectors handle rare coins with extreme care. There are also rumors and exaggerated stories online claiming every 1997 P nickel is secretly worth millions. In reality, only the rarest top-condition examples or dramatic mint errors achieve remarkable prices. Still, the excitement behind those stories comes from a very real truth. Ordinary-looking coins have sold for astonishing amounts when they possessed unique qualities collectors desperately wanted. That possibility fuels the dreams of treasure hunters everywhere and keeps the legend of rare nickels alive. For many collectors, the thrill is not only about money but about the hunt itself. Every nickel examined becomes a mystery waiting to be solved. A small detail invisible to most people could suddenly reveal a coin of incredible rarity. The excitement of turning over a coin and spotting sharp full steps or un. The legendary 1999 P. Liberty Jefferson nickel is one of those mysterious coins that can turn an ordinary pocket change discovery into a heart-racing treasure hunt. At first glance, it may look like a normal 5-cent coin resting quietly among common change, but collectors across the world know that certain rare examples of this coin have stunned the market with shocking prices. The P mint mark means it was struck at the famous United States Mint facility in Philadelphia, and while millions were produced, a tiny number escaped with extraordinary features that transformed them into collector dreams worth fortunes. What makes the 1999 P. Jefferson nickel so fascinating is the hidden possibility that an unnoticed error or near-perfect condition specimen could be sitting inside an old drawer, coin jar, or forgotten piggy bank right now. Most people spend these coins without a second thought, but experienced collectors inspect every detail carefully because one small difference can mean the gap between 5 cents and thousands of dollars. Some rare versions display stunning strike quality, mirror-like surfaces, doubled lettering, or unusual minting flaws that collectors aggressively chase in auctions. The design of this coin carries the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front, giving it a classic American appearance recognized around the world. The reverse side proudly features Jefferson's historic home, Monticello, with elegant lettering that gives the nickel its timeless identity. In 1999, these coins were made for everyday circulation, but a few emerged with characteristics so unusual that collectors began treating them like hidden treasures rather than ordinary currency. One reason people become obsessed with the 1999 P nickel is the possibility of finding a high-grade specimen. In coin collecting, condition changes everything. A worn nickel may only be worth face value, but an untouched coin with razor-sharp details, glowing luster, and flawless surfaces can explode in value dramatically. Some collectors spend years searching for pristine examples because the highest-graded nickels from this year are incredibly difficult to find. When one appears in the market, competition becomes intense and prices can climb rapidly. There are also rumors and stories that fuel the excitement surrounding this coin. Many collectors believe that rare minting mistakes from 1999 escaped quality control and quietly entered circulation before anyone noticed. These stories create a thrilling treasure hunt atmosphere where every nickel feels like a possible jackpot. While not every coin will make someone wealthy overnight, certain error nickels have sold for astonishing amounts that shocked casual collectors and inspired millions of people to start checking their spare change. The Philadelphia mint mark itself adds another layer of mystery. Coins bearing the small p beneath Jefferson's portrait represent a specific production history tied to one of America's most important minting facilities. Collectors often compare Philadelphia nickels with those from Denver and other locations, searching for tiny differences in strike quality, spacing, or texture. Sometimes these subtle variations create collector demand that pushes certain coins into elite status within the hobby. Many people mistakenly call the 1999 P. Jefferson nickel a silver coin because of its shiny appearance, but standard circulation nickels from this period were actually made from a copper-nickel composition. Even so, rare examples can still command enormous prices due to scarcity, condition, or minting errors rather than precious metal content alone. This surprises new collectors who assume only gold or silver coins can become valuable, when in reality rarity often matters even more than metal. One of the most thrilling parts of collecting is discovering an error coin. A double die effect, off-center strike, clipped planchet, or missing design detail can transform an ordinary nickel into an object of intense collector fascination. These errors happen during the minting process and are often extremely rare. Because of this, collectors inspect 1999 P nickels under magnifying glasses hoping to uncover hidden abnormalities that others overlooked for years. Another factor driving excitement is the emotional connection people have with coins. Unlike expensive luxury items locked away in museums, coins travel through countless hands and everyday places. A rare 1999 P nickel could have passed through grocery stores, vending machines, restaurants, or family collections before finally being recognized for its true importance. That possibility creates a feeling of mystery and adventure that few collectibles can match. Professional grading companies play a huge role in determining the value of these nickels. When a rare specimen receives an exceptionally high grade, collectors often compete fiercely to own it because only a handful may exist in such perfect condition. A difference of 1 grade point can sometimes mean the difference between a modest collectible and a coin worth thousands. This is why experts carefully protect their rare nickels inside special holders to preserve every tiny detail. The market for rare Jefferson nickels has grown tremendously over the years because modern collectors love coins that combine history, rarity, and affordability. Some collectors cannot afford ancient gold coins or million-dollar rarities, so they focus on nickels that still carry the thrilling possibility of huge value discoveries. The 1999 P issue has become especially exciting because many examples still remain hidden in circulation or old collections waiting to be rediscovered. Stories of dramatic discoveries continue to inspire collectors everywhere. People have reportedly uncovered valuable nickels inside inherited coin jars, estate sales, forgotten albums, and even loose change received at stores. These stories spread rapidly because they remind everyone that incredible treasures do not always come from buried pirate chests or luxury auctions. Sometimes they are hiding in plain sight among ordinary coins that most people ignore completely. The shine and texture of a well-preserved 1999 P. Jefferson nickel can be breathtaking under proper lighting. Strong luster flowing across the coin's surface gives it an almost liquid metal appearance that collectors admire deeply. When combined with crisp details on Jefferson's hair and Monticello's architecture, the coin transforms from common currency into a miniature piece of art frozen in time. Collectors also value the excitement of rarity rankings.